face of the planet. And I want to thank you all for rocking out with us, for being here with us, and for being you. You matter, and I hope you realize that. But enough with the sappy shit. It's time to party. Welcome to Grand Finals here at Platinum Star Online, version 2, BluStriker versus WebbJP. To Smashville we go for game number 1.
Stu reminding us all that the language of Smash has evolved to shitboys, and just by us being shitboys, it's basically us saying, we love each other, and we love you. It takes a solid, probably the best announcer to really remind us of that, you know, in moments where we need to remember it the most, and times where it's, you know, sometimes you just need that little pat on the back. This is why we love Stu, the announcer. That's why we love Smash.
Hey, man, we are just the narrators of the hype. The players are the ones who bring it, and when we're talking about people... Like, when we're talking about WebbJP and BluStriker, now we have seen this before. This is a repeat of Winner's Final. And what we saw from that set was a pretty convincing win from WebbJP. We did see BluStriker take him to task a few times, in fact. But, nevertheless, WebbJP still out here, still on his game. And he's not holding anything back. He has not been... this entire day, and BluStriker, he's gonna have to find something else, to find something more than just one victory, because just one ain't gonna cut it.
For sure, my friend. If he's gonna be able to do what he did again, running it over him with that back air by the ledge right there, and BluStriking first with the first stock going to him right there. Beautiful back air placement. Not even the late hit gonna get that strong one out here. Is gonna be able to take care of Zuck Phoners, the artist formerly known as WebbJP's first stock out here for you guys. Already an explosive one, man, here on Smashville, which is a stage of explosiveness, to say the least. It is the smallest one out of our current legal rule set, you know, a lot less room to be able to really run away from Sonic on a stage like this. And you remember, Stu? Remember in that last set when I was talking about, you know, Sonic would actually not like a smaller stage against Ryu because he can't get around the huge hitboxes?
Yeah.
Well, now he's not playing against a Ryu. Now he's out here against a Lucas, gimping a Lucas, potentially not able to do it. Yeah, PK Thunder 2 going immensely far. Now he's on a small stage where he doesn't have to deal with those same giant hitboxes. Now he's fighting a little boy who's just pretty good at zoning and intercepting you in the air. Sonic just stays on the ground right here, maintains his ground, you know, keeps his control. I can definitely imagine BluStriker potentially taking this first game on a stage this small and even potentially overwhelming a character like Lucas if he's not careful. Because camping Lucas is usually such a solid option, but sometimes when, you know, you play the fastest character in the game, there might be some situations where you don't have to. Sonics don't necessarily have to camp on a stage this small. Sometimes they can just run you over like a car with that forward air. Speaking of running over, able to get that out of the double jump cancels there right there. And Zuck Phoners, WebbJP, out here showing you what he can do, putting himself on the board for the first game in Grand Finals.
No, and that's kind of the thing, is that even though the message has kind of been sent, PK projectile right into the midsection of that Sonic, but even though you do kind of get the sense that it's, yeah, you want to be able to camp out your character or whatever, no, you kind of want to get into the face of Lucas just so he doesn't have time to approach with those aerials that do require a little bit of startup. You have to be able to stick to your guns and make sure that when you're pressing that A button in the face of Lucas that you are not missing and that you're doing it a lot faster than he is. He gives himself a little bit of space, does WebbJP, with the PK projectile going the opposite way towards the right side of the stage. But even then, like, you have to talk about how else are you meeting him in the air? What are you doing in disadvantage? You know that you are not gimping him. WebbJP has made that perfectly clear, even after that little brilliant setup that BluStriker had on him with the during the first stock, where he could very well have gimped him, but WebbJP has this down. You are not going to kill him from below the stage all that easily without sacrificing something yourself. So the question becomes, how do you get him off the stage, above the stage? And, well, off the stage and above the stage is a problem that WebbJP hasn't solved pretty quickly. You just up throw him. It is not so easily solved for BluStriker, however, because he is down one stock right now. That is a problem that is easily rectified, however. BluStriker evens it right up.
There you go, my friend, breaking the zone of Lucas real quick. Yeah, I mean, if there's any stage, I mean, any situation where Lucas will be able to handle this, you know, if there's any Lucas that can, it's WebbJP. And just to talk about these guys for a minute, I gotta say, this set is a story. my friend. I mean, one of the biggest stories of quarantine Smash, you know, this semi-dark era of Smash that we're mustering through together until we can have these offline events where we can be together again in physicality.
Oh
that
my
PK Freeze
goodness.
takes the stock is the story and rise of WebbJP, man. This guy just came out here out of the woodwork. He started doing better at the offline tournaments. He told Toonami, actually, that he was looking for representation, wanted to join a crew, so he joined the Syndicate and now is represented by them. And now he's out here to show you what he can do. His results have only since improved since playing in these Wi-Fi brackets, and I, for one, can't wait to see what he does offline if he's able to land stuff like this online. It's just an amazing thing, to say the least, and I think BluStriker, my friend, is the perfect opponent to be able to truly test the dedication, the determination, the raw willpower of a player like WebbJP, who's all about the grind and very much wants to improve by being a good Sonic player, a good Wi-Fi Sonic player, the true test of somebody's real stamina when, you know, grinding out this game. There are top players who have faltered to Sonic players who have not won very many tournaments offline. I mean, you look at these Quarantine Series results, there's something else. You look at the amount of top players that don't enter them. WebbJP, he's not that, my friend. He's out here, he's dedicated, here to show you what he can do. We're here on Smashville again. Both these guys just trying to run each other over. And I, for one, can't wait to see if he's going to be able to climb that potentially insurmountable wall that is BluStriker. And so far, it's looking like he's already 100 miles up Mount Everest, dude.
Certainly seems like that, but, you know, the higher you climb, the thinner the air. So you need to be just a tad careful. And yeah, you get those spring gimps, and wow, okay, so turns out you can gimp them, and BluStriker just figured out how. It really is that spring placement. So here we are, game number 2. He's doing that business. So
definitely got that Campbell's chicken noodle gimp ability out here for you guys. Shout outs to Sonic's mom, saying "I got you, son."
Oh, okay. I thought you were making a play off of my name for a second. I was like, what in God's name are you? Oh yeah, then
I was making multiple plays.
Yeah, honestly, a good joke has layers, is what he's trying to say, and
yes,
I agree.
So do ogres. Anyway, BluStriker here.
That was the bad jokes do not. So let's just go ahead and move on. Spring.
Let's.
So now, WebbJP, I'm completely distracted now. WebbJP at 81%, but he is able to get back to the stage. Yeah, I was kind of clenching too. Don't worry about that.
That back air would have done it. 100% would have done it. Sonic's back air is stupid strong, my friends. Right there, he got the late hit, so it didn't kill Lucas right there. But if he got that strong hit out of the spin dash, he definitely would have been able to land it. And speaking of strong hits, not seeing too many of those right now. He's just getting the weak one over and over again, almost sacrificing positioning. And there you go, finally getting the strong back air is BluStriker. BluStriking back right here, putting himself on the top, the cream of the crop right now of this particular game, up an entire stock against WebbJP. And this is where it's going to get kind of dicey, because I feel like when Sonic is in disadvantage, it is so much harder for you to be able to camp him like Sonic can camp you. But it's not going to matter on a stage like this. Sonic can't really camp as easily on a small stage like Smashville as he would be able to do on, say, FD or Town or even Unova, to say the least. Here, you know, I feel like it's so weird. I feel like whichever one of these players is the one in disadvantage, they're going to have a slightly easier time approaching than the other one is going to have camping, to say the least. I mean, because right now you got Sonic who's in the lead, and he's got a lot of damage on WebbJP, I should say. Never mind. But it's not really coming from a place of defense, You know what I'm saying? There you go, and there's the forward smash taking the stock. That entire sequence, BluStriker was just in the meat. He was breaking Lucas's zone. He wasn't camping because he knew he couldn't do that there. He knew that wasn't really the optimal thing to do in that situation. And I feel like that's a big part of the reason that maybe he wanted to go to Smashville again after that first game. So really good stuff to BluStriker, holding his ground, you know, not exactly always playing the true stereotype of his character, because he knows that it's not always the optimal thing to do. And then he just gets that duff and he catches WebbJP with some pretty poor DI from the ledge right there, not even getting the lightning right there. I mean, it's got tiny blast zones, so that could have just killed outright, but not exactly quite sure what was going on the part of WebbJP right there. But point is, BluStriker is going to be able to put himself on the board with that very clean second game, gimping Lucas for a stock and getting some very clean back air edge guards, and then doing what Sonic does best in forward smashing you with his giant extendo fist by the ledge. You guys have an ARMS character coming out this month for this game? I don't think we need one. He's been in the game for months.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's been in the game for a whole damn decade. I'm not really sure what y'all are asking for, because it's because everyone asked for the Arms character. Anyway, game number 3 is we are going ahead for that didn't happen. So that game number 3, we're gonna continue on.
Go here.
No, it turns out we don't. So BluStriker is going to go ahead and SD, and you know, Webb, you can go ahead and I'm gonna have the courtesy. Okay,
dude, we might have a reset bracket. Just get off the damn level.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. They'll be doing that. All right, WebbJP, solidly taking that third game there. Get it? Cause they reset there. I'm a commentator. I'm funny.
That was the quickest game from a Sonic I've ever seen online.
You got my money, Damien?
Jesus Christ.
Have you downloaded Disney Plus? Yeah.
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 I want to read that one Angel Cortez tweet, but in the goofy voice. Get exposed.
How about another joke, Winnie?
Oh my God. No.
No, I think we've had enough of your jokes. We're on. Oh no, we are on Smashville again. So
wait,
I don't know
what?
what happened. I don't know what happened there, and we're playing it out this time. I think what happened is that BluStriker probably thought they counterpicked to somewhere else, and then WebbJP just kind of stayed on the level and didn't immediately SD because he was just like, no. This is where we counterpicked it to again, dude. And then BluStriker just realized that, and just made the VOD a lot longer for about no reason. But here we are. We're on Smashville for the yeah, it's pretty neat to say if that's a good way to describe it. Oh, and speaking of neat, did you see what he did right there? Lucas parried the homing attack, but BluStriker was somehow able to buffer a forward air quickly enough that it actually scooped Lucas into the air off of the bounce of the Sonic ball, off of the bounce of Sonic as a ball off the parry. That was really crazy. I've actually never seen that interaction before. Oh, and there we go, the spring.
Air dodges and WebbJP, that is not a mistake that you can afford to make, my friend. Oh man, the directional air dodge going sideways. No chance at all for recovery. You know how long it takes.
Shawty got too low.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't drop it that low. You're gonna hurt yourself.
That was too low even for Pitbull. Honestly.
I don't get Pitbull, but okay.
Yeah, that's another discussion for another time.
Yeah.
But again, Smashville, tiny stage, Sonic will be playing a little bit more aggressive here. I mean, you see him just spin dashing on the platform back and right a little bit, and then he just does it again immediately afterwards, and the forward air almost takes the stock. You see, on so many other stages, Sonic would just camp, because that's technically the optimal thing to do. But right there, he knew the optimal thing to do was to actually run in with this, what am I trying to say here? With the spin dash right there instead, because he knows the stage is small enough that he'd be able to just keep the pressure on and just break Lucas's defensive zone a little more. This stage just more so, at the very least in this matchup, I feel like it buffs offensive zones and really nerfs defensive ones. You're really not seeing either of these guys play too defensive because they don't have the room to. Which I think is one of the reasons that they both like to go to the stage. They can both just sort of express their punish game a little further. And speaking of expressing their punish game, getting hit out of the PK Thunder 1s in just about the worst position you can possibly be in Smash, underneath the stage, trying to sneak into that KK Slider concert from below, definitely was not able to afford tickets, or maybe he has some sort of beef with him, but he was able to lose that stock instead. BluStriker still up, but not by nearly as much.
Gotta avoid security somehow, It's not gonna take, it's not going to be easy, but you got to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, KK Slider puts on a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, you don't want crazy folk running around backstage. He makes it. The PK projectile. Oh my gosh! Turning garbage into gold. Finds the advantage.
Gonna do it again.
And the back air, the down air, and the spike. WebbJP, excuse yourself right now, young man.
That's what happens when you get tickets.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you go through. You buy them from the artist, or you get them through a reputable third party. But excuse me, BluStriker, he don't play by your daddy's rules, man. He's gonna go to that scalper outside the show the minute of. Like, he don't care, man.
What a homing attack! Oh my god, dude. You see what I'm saying, right? They're both playing so much more aggressively, and I'm sorry, I don't think Smashville is coincidence. I think the stage is essentially forcing them to play like that, and I think they both get to really express their punish game a lot more on a stage like this, rather than just hanging back, you know, to sort of just wait for their opponent to commit to an option. Look at him! Those 3 back airs in a row off of... You're nuts. You're nuts.
Yeah, no, BluStriker, oh my god, I cannot believe he got away with half of that crap. But he did it, and BluStriker deservingly winning that game 3. So WebbJP, you're going to have to this might be a battle of attrition here. I'm not gonna lie to you, because we are approaching game 4, and WebbJP, he is going to have to win 2 successive games if he does not want this bracket reset. It's
very true, my friends. And WebbJP only really going to be counterpicking in stage here. He does not play any other characters, to my knowledge. He is tried and true with his Lucas, as you would expect a Lucas main to really be. You know, I mean, he's kind of like that sort of niche character, like a little bit of a character specialist type. He was considered pretty much mid-tier at best for a very long time. A lot of people, I feel like, are starting to see the light, mainly because of players like WebbJP, that he might borderline on high tier. Here you go. He's out here again. BluStriker only needing 1 more game to reset this bracket. WebbJP needing 2 more to just take it all right here. And I don't know about you, but I am actually so anxious to see who the winner of this one is going to be. Another tournament brought to you by Collision Series. Just switching places here. We got BluStriker coming up against WebbJP for the 3rd game. We are seeing Battlefield for the first time. And oh, God. I can't even remember the last time we decided to take a game over the stage. It had to have been like 3-4 sets ago, the last time we saw Battlefield, if that. But here we are, we're out here. It is making an appearance in Grand Finals. It is WebbJP's counterpick, actually. And I'm not really completely sure why he would have elected to go to a stage like this, because I feel like it definitely changes a lot, you know, compared to Smashville. I feel like Smashville, you know, I said it a million times, they can afford to be a lot more aggressive. Battlefield, one of the biggest things that this stage does is that it makes your landings a little more telegraphed, a little more linear, a little more predictable. It is the common lower-level player opinion that the platforms make it easier for you to land because you can mix up where you're going to go by landing on, like, you know, different platforms. Like, oh, I'm going to go on the left platform. Now I'm going to go on the right platform. Now I'll land on middle, or I'll air dodge through them, whatever. It's not necessarily the case. The heightened sense of the platforms actually make it that much more obvious where you're going to land, and then you could actually easily get caught in lag on the platform. So I imagine that disadvantage for both of these guys is going to be a little bit rougher. But in this particular matchup, I gotta say, I'm honestly not too sure why WebbJP elected to counterpick here. I could definitely, if and you have any, Stu, and you don't got to worry about it, if you have any other ones, I would very much love to hear your thoughts on why WebbJP would have counterpicked to a stage like this.
I'm really trying to think of it, and I would honestly think that he might think that he is able to approach with Nair to the platform and try to catch him. He's kind of standing there. I mean, I would think that he must think that he gets something more off of Battlefield than he might, because I don't know if WebbJP gets a whole lot in terms of kills off of the top, because BluStriker right now is taking him to task.
Yeah,
and
honestly,
he's not getting any of the grabs. He's not getting any of the kill throws that he needs. And he knows better than to look for those. BluStriker gets caught on the ledge and eventually has to give up the stock. And it's not like you're switching from Pokemon Stadium or anything for a smaller blast zone. Pokemon Stadium's the smallest ceiling on the legal stage list right now. So I'm really not quite sure what this gives him that it doesn't give BluStriker, but he definitely has some kind of positive feeling about what the platforms give him in terms of movement options. But really, you're just giving BluStriker more ample opportunity to avoid your PK fires and potentially even your PK freezes at ledge.
Yeah, that's a really good point, my friend. And I feel like, you know, the only thing he could really get is platform pressure if he's able to actually keep Sonic up. And even then, he's not really doing that. You see him just jump up with the down air right there. And he actually winds up resetting neutral and actually giving up stage control because of it instead right there. I'm not exactly sure what the thought process was on that end. I imagine Lucas would be able to, you know, just actually utilize the platforms for, like, nair pressure, like you said before. But he's throughout this entire game, he's really never put BluStriker in a position where he was able to do that. And instead, now BluStriker just has all the room in the world on a very big stage to actually camp Lucas, which is one of the most effective ways of actually beating Lucas, is hard camping, because as that forward smash does close the game right there, Lucas is so good at intercepting aerial approaches, but he took him to a stage where he doesn't really have to approach from the air as much, because now there are platforms that he can just sort of run away to and be safe on. Lucas, where he, falters on the other hand, is on the ground. His approach options on the ground are not that good. Pretty much all he has is being able to spam PK fire. But I gotta say, like, I don't know what WebbJP was thinking on that. I would love to get, I doubt we're going to do post-game interviews, but I'm very curious as to what his thought process was at the end of that one, because I feel like all he did was, give Sonic more room to just do his thing.
Yeah, he kind of did, and that's, he wound up neutralizing his own projectiles as a result of this, because there is one thing that Sonic does not have, and that is a lack of ease of movement. And he can go up to those things and come right the hell back down. He's got the fastest run speed in the game. He doesn't have to drop through the platforms. He doesn't have to struggle through that on Wi-Fi. He can just run the hell off of the side. And he's doing it perfectly safe, and he's fine with it, which is part of the reason why I think that Sonic is so fundamentally busted online. This is not to take away from BluStriker's skill by any sense of the imagination. He's doing just fine on his own. He stands in his own merits as a player. I'm saying it doesn't make sense that WebbJP would have counterpicked to this, even though obviously it's come to our knowledge that he does tend to counterpick to the stage a lot, and I know that it works in certain matchups. We were praising this counterpick before when he did it against Monopoly Man, but this is not a Ryu. You're not fighting a Shoto. You're fighting Sonic, and you have to play the cards that you are dealt. And there's a reason why BluStriker left this legal. So you have to kind of realize that.
For sure, my friend, for sure. And now, because of all of those decisions that you just described, we are in a second set. We are in true finals. Another best of 5 for you guys right here. This is the final set of the night for you guys right here. It's WebbJP, BluStriker, just like you said before. Hope you've been enjoying the show so far. My name's Nintunist.
And I'm Stu, the announcer.
And we hope you have been enjoying this wonderful show here on Master Hand Gaming and all these wonderful other ads that we got for you over at the top left corner. The wonderful show that we got brought to you by Chrysalodian, who does countless work for our scene. And just, if you're not following him, like I said, just, if you're dumb, don't be dumb. And yeah, it's like, it's because of that reasoning that we got a whole nother set for you guys right here. And I'm not really quite sure where we're gonna start for this first one. This is not the kind of matchup that I assume we would default to PS2 on. I feel like Sonic has a pretty defining edge on a stage like that, personally. And especially when it comes to camping out Lucas, which, like I mentioned earlier, is just about the most effective way to really counteract Lucas, is if you do play like enough of a degenerate and you do play lame enough, quote unquote lame, to be able to just never approach him when you are the one who's up. It is just about the best way to do it, because like I've mentioned plenty of times, like Lucas is so good at counteracting you in the air, and on that Battlefield game, he just took him to a stage where he didn't have to do that. Like you mentioned before, he doesn't have to worry about dropping through the platforms or being stuck through them or anything like that. Whereas here, on the ground, Lucas really, that's where he struggles to approach. On the ground, like, Lucas's approach options are actually not that good. He's got PK Fire. He can spam his Zair sometimes, which isn't really the longest Zair in the world, and he does have to double jump cancel it as well. It's not like ZSS's where she can just full hop and then just whip that Zair out there and convert something off of it. No, Lucas, he's got to do a lot more work to be able to get anything off of that Zair. Those double jump cancel Zairs, it is a deceptively difficult input. I won't lie to you. And now we are out here running it off to Smashville again. It's looking like we might have that aggression come forth through these players right here, man. And more than anything, I am hoping that WebbJP probably learned his lesson after that last game. If he decides to go to Battlefield again at some point during the set, I would very much like to ask him why. I would really like to know his thought process. It is my job as a commentator to know or predict it as best as I can and to tell you guys the story, sell the players, all that good stuff. But for the life of me, I'm not sure what was going through WebbJP's mind when he decided to go to that stage. I think it benefited Sonic so much more in this matchup than it did for Lucas. But here we are on Smashville. This is a stage where I really feel like both of these characters can very much thrive and prosper against the other if they're not careful. A stage where the advantage state can be forced so much further than having to wait for your opponent's whatever your opponent's options are going to be out of disadvantage on a stage like this. Sonic doesn't have to worry about having to time anybody out. He can just break that zone so much easier. But Lucas, of course, is so good at negating approaches if you're pressing bad buttons. So far, BluStriker hasn't really done that. This is the first game of True Finals, best of 5. Don't touch your fire stick. Don't touch your mouse. We gotta know. We got one more show for you.
Yeah. No, this is gonna end one way or another. One of these will break upon the other, and BluStriker and WebbJP are determined for that breaking point to not be reached by them. So they will instead assist the other in doing so. WebbJP looking for that down tilt. Then he realizes that he's a Lucas and decides to approach with an aerial instead. Gotta say, good thinking. So when we have oh, wait a second, Foder. I could have swore he was going for up air, but maybe not as reliable a tool as it was in the last game. I'd say that's a fair assessment.
Misinput mayhaps, but I think you might be right on that first one. I mean, up air is a little more inconsistent depending on how you space it as opposed to the prior rendition of Smash, to say the least. PK fire off the platform though, able to reset that neutral. Oh, and homing attack at, oh my god, just tit for tat, back and forth against each other. Says get off me, okay, and then does a raw down smash. That's as committal option as it gets. But I mean, WebbJP just took a shot in the dark. He guessed, said I'm going for it. I know that's going to work. And let's see how much damage I'll be able to tack onto this first stock for you guys right here. See how I'm going to be able to potentially bring this back right here. And it was only 18% as a back air from downtown. It's going to do it for WebbJP's first stock in this second set for you guys. True Finals, man. This is looking like anybody so far. It's safe on block as well with that down smash. Oh, the character knowledge on the part of WebbJP is so good. What's the ledge trap? Ooh, no. BluStriker able to actually break through the zoning right there and get a little bit of a punish of his own.
So now, and we're seeing he's going for these smash attacks, like right at the ledge. I'm not really sure about the wisdom of it, but nevertheless, as we have, looking for the springs. Webb is trying to zone him out, but again, you're talking about Smashville. BluStriker can get right up in the face, and you are locked in the octagon. Like, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish by running. No, you have to stand in there and you gotta fight, and that is something that WebbJP is going to have to come to terms with at some juncture if he wants to gain an upper hand, like a true upper hand. So,
hey, if there's anybody who realizes that it's him, man, I mean, look at his tag. He definitely doesn't want to play the long game. You can or like the range game, as you can tell. And with the analogy that you made before, as that forward air does not take the stock, Smashville is kind of the octagon of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate when you think about it. You know, because you got to like actually be close and fight in it so much more, you know, than you would in other ones. This is definitely like the MMA level of our current legal rule set. If I dared to make that analogy,
more or less. I mean, you kind of have to.
Exactly.
There is no choice. Yeah, up throw is going to take it. At that point, yeah, all you need to do is get the grab, and you have stock. Congratulations. But
fortunately for him, he's got a tether.
There you go. He's not he's not hurting right now. WebbJP is going to be happy with the lead that he has. Only 2 percentage points worth of extra credit thus far, but who's to say that can't change? Certainly not WebbJP as he adds on a little bit more, and yet BluStriker needs to get the hell off of that platform. Excuse me, except when he's using it as a stepping stool to get the hell up there and close out the second stock.
And I never even had the opportunity to ask how is WebbJP going to really force his advantage here? Like I've said a million times, you know, this is not the kind of stage where you can really camp somebody out with a lead on. So I was going to wonder, with WebbJP up a stock, how is he going to be able to keep closing this gap against the fastest character in the game? How is he going to make sure he tacks on enough damage onto his last stock while he was up on his second one, that he was able to keep Sonic at bay? And the answer is, got 48, and then he wasn't, because then he just got hard red with a reverse spring jump into the back air right there to be able to close out that stock. And now we are back at a dead even heat for this first game. You wouldn't want it any other way, as he punches that little kid right in the face to be able to get him back off the level, tries to go for it again, saying, this is what I thought about Jimmy Neutron. He's got him down again. Oh, but he puts him on ice on the way back, just like he finished just like he did to finish BluStriker over in Winners Finals when there was only 12 seconds left on the clock.
And now, WebbJP again. BluStriker keeps finding himself on this platform. I'm not sure exactly what the hell he thinks he's doing up there. There is nothing that WebbJP cannot do to him that really BluStriker would have to find a way to either luck out and parry, it seems like, or just try to shield and punish. Eventually the F smash is going to take it, but again, that's where you're going to find that that neutrality is on level ground. So as we take game one and give it to BluStriker, at least on the scoreboard, it's kind of shocking to me that we're seeing WebbJP not be able to hit as many of these aerials as we're used to him hitting. But again, he's getting closed down upon. He is kind of buckling to the pressure that BluStriker has been applying. So
I've seen it countless times.
Yeah.
Countless times when reset brackets, man, when, you know, sometimes a player gets the download and, you know, the guy who was originally in Winners just might not always have the answer. Even in 6 games, you know, they can download it to the best of their ability, but it might just not be enough. Is Wi-Fi Sonic, dude? Answer me this, Stu. Is Wi-Fi Sonic really it for WebbJP? Is this the make or break for him to be able to take one of the biggest tournaments of his Wi-Fi career so far? Is this where a bigger challenge sets in for him? Is this where his dominance really starts to truly get tested by one of the most agonizing and amazing demons that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Wi-Fi has to offer in Sonic the Hedgehog? I don't know, man. This we're gonna have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But all I'm saying is that BluStriker, you might be starting to wear him down a bit. He's up an entire game over WebbJP in the first game of 2 finals, and he took his sweet time doing it, dude. Even on a stage as small as Smashville, man, he took his sweet time. But my man WebbJP saying, I may be down, but I'm not out of this bracket yet. I'm not out of this game. I can still win this. Getting that dash attack to start his onslaught against BluStriker.
And now, continuing on with this, again, critical game number 2. Very well could determine the outcome of this set, and BluStriker going where Eagles dare to secure the kill off the forward air. And the jab on the ledge. And yeah, WebbJP is certainly determined to not find himself out of this just yet, but he's getting a lot of these hits at ledge and spacing himself out exactly where he needs to be. Find himself right in the thick of the action. And again, with the Smashville pick, he's doing about what he needs to. He seems to be trying to control the match's pace, and he's doing it relatively well. He's making BluStriker fold to him a little bit, because yes, BluStriker does want to be aggressive, but WebbJP says, fine, you want to be aggressive, you want to rush me down, that's okay, but you're going to do it on my terms. And there's nothing wrong with that. All of a sudden, you're taking something that is their strength, and you're making it their disadvantage, and the PK freezes multiple hits of these on this stock. Just a little too early pulling the trigger on the down smash, but eventually finding the mark, and WebbJP looking mighty impressive thus far.
Honestly, yeah, it was a beautiful edge guard by him. The only thing I would say that was just as beautiful as it, if not more, was BluStriker's ability to come back to the level, being off the level with no jump and having to air dodge towards the ledge against Lucas's down smash, which is already hard enough as it is. But then once that whiffed, my man WebbJP just ran back, chucked out that PK fire, knew that he was going to be stuck in that lag on his way back up to the stage, and that the lingering hitbox of PK fire would have been enough to do it and end that stock right there. At the very least, catch BluStriker's DI a little off guard by the ledge that time, which he might have just done right there. And now you have WebbJP looking poised to potentially take this game, unless a back air will end it all for him right there. But now he's got him off without a jump. Is the PK freeze going to do it? No, Lucas cannot angle that move downward like PK flash can, like Ness. That is one of the true differences, is that PK freeze has a lot more range to it. He can launch it a lot farther, whereas PK flash is more powerful and can be angled a little bit closer. But he catches him air dodging off the level right here. BluStriker saying, anything you can do, I can do better. And now we got ourselves another even game yet again for the last one, but no percentage on the part of WebbJP yet. Oh, there's a little bit of 8.8 right there to be able to bring this back. I'd like to play some crazy eights. Is BluStriker right here, but he's trying to get some pressure on the shield. Nothing doing, says WebbJP right there. And WebbJP actually eating that neutral layer right there that launched him off the level. He had to, because he recognized his shield was actually way too low down, and his shield would have actually potentially broken if he got back aired right there. Because of that, he actually wound up eating a lot more damage on that stock, but he knew that even with that exchange that he suffered from BluStriker right there, he actually would have suffered even more otherwise. So it was really smart on him to know to just eat that back air right there and to drop the shield. He probably tried to parry it, but unfortunately for him, it was just no dice.
WebbJP making it back and avoiding the spring. BluStriker is, you got to think that he's setting him up for something. BluStriker has to be. He's kind of biding his time. But, oh, you got to get back to the stage if you want to have any of those plans realized. The air dodge back to the ledge was wholly necessary in that instance. You were dead elsewise. And yeah, you're going to have to pull out a few more of those, it seems like. Does eventually reset back to neutral, and WebbJP gonna keep his distance, gonna use the threat of that tether at this point, because I think up throw would kill here. But I don't really know what else BluStriker would be considering. He has to get in his face and press buttons, and
back air.
Yeah, back air does give himself a little bit of distance, but WebbJP, man, he can do this. It's just a matter of, does he let BluStriker back into it? He leaves the door wide open, and Sonic forward airs himself straight through the corridor, and he goes up 2-0.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Forward air, my friends. WebbJP down 2-0 over BluStriker now. Oh, man, it is not looking good for the hometown hero, boys and girls, this time around. But if anybody can do it, it is definitely WebbJP. If you're rooting for him, definitely give him your energy in the chat. If you're rooting for BluStriker, definitely give him your energy too. He is doing good work to be able to bring these games back against WebbJP. Working his hardest to earn them right now, giving me legitimate indigestion from watching these two players right now. It is something that is really tearing me apart internally and externally, but it is something else, man. The aggro of this Sonic, especially on a stage like Smashville, that allows him to do so. And the question is Smashville the pick again? Did he learn his lesson from Battlefield?
I
Are
think
we running it to Final Destination?
No,
Smashville once again?
Smashville. Come on now.
Look, we smash 4 out here, boys. We default to this every time.
Absolutely. And Lucas versus Sonic is like one of those like shitpost MVVA tournaments or something.
Where Lucas is banned?
Yeah, exactly. Lucas is banned. We don't know how to fight him, guys. We don't know.
It really sucks, man. I really wish WebbJP would have been able to go to Glitch, man, but he just can't. He's probably not even going to be able to sign up for online Glitch. Just sucks.
Yeah.
You know, poor guy.
Honestly,
through no fault of his own. It really.
Yeah, an actual victim of circumstance.
Honestly.
I mean, not like BluStriker playing Sonic. He can enter whatever online tournament he wants.
Oh yeah, that's just where we're at with Glitch. Shoutouts to MDBA. Just, you know, banning Lucas. Definitely not fans of Jimmy Neutron. The forward throw.
Why do we do this? All right, so anyway,
why do we not? Down smash. Yep.
Oh yeah. That was elementary, my friend. Are you kidding me? There was no reason, no universe in which WebbJP does not take that exact path of action. But BluStriker says, "Destiny is mine." He wears Kronika's crown and is looking to change destiny as he, I don't know, he might be looking to kill the fire god over here. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh man, I still got. I still got to play that game, dude. I actually bought more MK11 and I never played.
Did I just spoil?
I knew a little bit about Liu Kang. Don't worry about it. I mean, for the chat, I don't know. It could be something else. Definitely got to get a Mortal Kombat character in this game. I really want that for the Fighter's Pass as the back air takes the stock. BluStriker only one more away.
Dude, I played
reverse Rioing.
I played it the first day. I'm sorry. Anyway, so
I'll get to it. Don't worry.
Yeah, dude, you will love it. You will.
I know. Oh, I know. I love 9 and 10. Don't worry about it. Oh, but here we go, man. BluStriker. He's only one away now, Stu.
I know, it's actually kind of amazing how quickly this one has gone by in relation to the other ones. Looking for the PK freeze, that is the hardest read you will ever see.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, he just wanted to end this stock now. I mean, he knew PK freeze would have gotten him off the level, and that would have been a good way to do it. So I think, honestly, that right there, and that up smash right there, another very ill-advised one, is proof that WebbJP just ran out of stamina, man. He was looking a little bit desperate in that last game, and unfortunately for him, he couldn't hold it down against the demon that is Wi-Fi Sonic. BluStriker out here doing what he does best and winning tournaments out of nowhere with Sonic the Hedgehog, conquering WebbJP 3-0 in the bracket reset, my friends. That was Platinum Star Online version 2.
And that was a conquering. Let's take one more look at that at the MXC Impact replay. That forward smash to give him the room to get off of the stage. And then eventually, yep, the coup de grace, the kick to the back, like to the tailbone of WebbJP. And that is going to do it for the tournament. BluStriker taking home first place points. And that's going to be first place money as well. WebbJP, an honorable showing in second, and Monopoly Man, I don't think anyone called him coming in third, but nevertheless, he did so with a pretty fun to watch Ryu, I have to say. Well done. Yeah, well done to all of them, and well done to all of you for sticking around. We really appreciate you coming through, supporting the Smash scene. It is past midnight. I've been up for 24 hours now, and it is... I could not ask for anything more than to be able to hang out with you guys and to speak to yous, and to be able to work with a guy like Crystalodian, who's been holding it down on production forever in Jersey. And definitely, by all means, follow him on social media. I believe it's at Crystalodian. Is that true?
Yeah, nice and simple. Crystalodian, that's
me.
Yeah, I do want to thank you guys so much for coming in here. I was actually starting to lose a little steam earlier from commentating items and doing everything else. So Stu, you kind of saved the day. And Tunis, you came in just when I needed you. So I do appreciate you guys. And for anyone, actually, I just appreciate everyone watching too and being so active in the chat and everything. It's really nice. And I know a lot of that is from DNA, which is every single Thursday. So if you like what you saw today, DNA runs every single Thursday and is pretty similar to this. Same team involved as far as Collision, Master Hand. We do have a few other guys involved as well with Sig Melee and Tasty Games doing Melee stuff. But yeah, that's every week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I want to specify that because I know that sometimes we get some people from out of state, which I've really been enjoying. And then if you're looking for something a little different, we do have Mario Kart every single Sunday, so that's happening tomorrow. Per usual, and these have been attracting, it might sound ridiculous, but it's a real thing. Very top talent level gameplay and players entering this tournament. People from all throughout the U.S. We're getting people across the seas from France. We're getting people from the U.K. I think we had a couple people from Mexico.
Can vouch.
Yeah, it's
these little crazy Mario Kart tournaments that started just by everybody wanting to beat Glenn are stacked as hell now.
Yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun. These team circuits are every Tuesday. They're not quite, they don't have the same zest as the Sunday free-for-alls, but they're still pretty fun. If you're looking for good races and actually feel like you're gotta try hard, this is the place to do it. And then, of course, I just got back on the horse with gloves off. We just did a Black Lives Matter episode last night. You can check it out on YouTube. I'm actually really happy with how it came out. And I'm really happy when everyone gives me the good feedback on it. So check it out if it's your thing. I understand podcasts aren't for everyone. And it's a long one, so feel free to skip around. But we had J-Dog from VGBC there, Ajax, who does join us sometimes, giving us a whole rundown on kind of their experience, and then sort of talking about Wi-Fi mentality moving forward, all those things, because there's a lot going on out there. And then, of course, every single Monday, very similar to our DNA weeklies, with Collision Team involved. Got that nice Square One stream as well, so be sure to check these out every single Monday. Always a great tournament to both watch and the play-in. And hold on, where is Zeno? There is Zeno every single Wednesday. Keep supporting these guys. There's actually the Hungry Box Weekly every Wednesday now, so Zeno gets a little bit overshadowed, but Wednesday is their day, so make sure you support with your views, support with your entrance, and obviously Devin and the rest of House put on like such a top-notch production, man. Definitely an inspiration for people out there streaming. And then Aeon doing the line every Friday, putting $50 out there. So go ahead and check this out, man. If you're really grinding these Wi-Fi tournaments, just another one to get. But big finish. That's all I got at the moment. Do want to thank everyone once again. I got some new subs, got some new follows, a lot of new friends. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, I have been working on this Discord. Still working on this Discord. Subscribers do get benefits in there. It's kind of a work in progress, but gotta start somewhere. So don't be shy. I'm now watching that sub very closely, so I'm very interactive if you're trying to just chill and hang out. But once again, Stu, Nintunist, thanks, guys.
Absolutely, man. And Nintunist, I know you've got stuff going on. You want to go ahead and plug yourself, man?
I can plug myself in like a little bit of an outlet. I've been getting back into the YouTube game a little bit. I've been putting out a lot more, want to be putting out a lot more opinionated videos. I got a lot I want to make on the back burner. I've been stopping for right now just because right now doesn't seem like the most appropriate time to really be posting stuff. So I'm taking a very, 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 very small break in the meantime. I just posted a video about Paper Mario Origami King, voicing a lot of opinions on that. And just recently surpassed 1,000 views after not being on there for that short of a time. So I'm pretty happy with how that video is turning out so far. If you'd like, you can check out my YouTube at youtube.com/Nintunist. And I was streaming for a bit. I've been more focused on, I feel like my services were best used for the Glintendo circuits that I used to stream from playing in them as a commentator now. So I can officially call myself a Mario Kart commentator, which is too lit. I love that title. And I do that with Chris every Sunday and Tuesday, so you can definitely check that out here on twitch.tv/MasterHandGaming if you want to really see like what I'm doing more so in the streaming department now. I haven't been doing too much personal streaming. Rather, now I'm just more so doing that show with Chris every Sunday and Tuesday, like you said. So definitely come out and check those out. I'm telling you, it's fun. We talk a lot of things Nintendo. We talk about other things. We talk about the action of the races, which are just really amazing. We got a lot of international talent for those Glintendo circuits now. A lot of really high-level Mario Kart players, and the records for the most points. At this point, it's actually kind of being broken every week, so you're definitely going to want to come in and check out who's going to be able to get that title this time around. And then you can just follow me at Nintunist on Twitter, which I've been moderating my Twitter usage a little more because I used to spend way too much time on it and whatnot of the like, and so I've just been moderating that. But you can go ahead and follow me on Twitter, just at Nintunist, the whole thing, NINTOONIST. You can see that over at the bottom right corner, as well as Stu. Or if you haven't followed yet, please do, for some quality everything from shit posting to actual, good thought out messages. That's a big part of Stu's Twitter. And then there's me, Nintunist, the whole shebang. So literally just Nintunist everything. Hope you guys enjoyed. And at the end of the day, just want to say before we go out here, Stu the announcer just brings out the best in me as a commentator because he's such a damn professional. And I always strive to just become more and more at that level. He just with his analogies, his knowledge, his research, just his years of experience as a commentator and an announcer, it just really brings out the best in me and reminds me why I love doing what I do in the first place, especially now that I've just been spending all this time in my house. So I got to thank him for that. I got to thank Chris for the platform he always gives me. Tonight, honestly, felt like it made me feel like I was in the Platinum Star venue for a bit. It ain't exactly the same thing, but it reminded me of why I love doing this in the first place, where I started doing it in the first place. And I felt some of that magic again, that the weeklies don't always give me, or just not give me as much as the monthlies. It's been a hell of a show. It's been a hell of a ride. And I gotta practice gratitude and realize how grateful I am to still be able to do these while we muster through these times together. So thank you to all of you for making that happen. And in lieu of that, please feel free to DM me on Twitter if you want, if you have any feedback for my commentary, positive or negative. And that's me.
That's no, man, and that's you brought up a really good point about feeling like we were back in the venue. Absolutely, man. I mean, whether it's talking to the boys from my region, dudes from out of region, like all the people that just came down the road, or people that came in for the rare times that New York decides to grace us with their presence. And just walking across the street, going to get some Chinese food and sushi, because that's trustworthy. Wondering why there's a gun store there, or just like talking it up at a diner, or most likely an Applebee's.
Smoke shop right next to it.
Wondering why I'm eating at an Applebee's. It's great, man. Like, it's honestly one of those things that you think that you take for granted, but you realize that you really can't, because there's as Prince said, life is just a party, and parties weren't meant to last. So we don't know how much time we've got. So whenever we meet again, I'll be sure to hug every one of you from whatever in the acceptable social distance is. So I want to thank you all. We will get there, and we'll do it together, and we'll do it as a stronger community than ever before. And I want to thank you all for joining us, for being part of our lives. And if you would like to follow us, by all means, at Masterhand Games. If you'd like to follow me personally, I am on Twitch. I do have a Twitch, and I do stream at Stu the Announcer, twitch.tv/Stu the Announcer, and I am on Twitter at Stu the Announcer as well. So once again, the final results from us: 4th place was Mouse Rat, 3rd was Monopoly Man at the hands of the Ryu, 2nd place, well deserved by WebbJP, but the final score, the true finals, was 3-0. Congratulations once again to BluStriker. So that's going to do it from us, from all of us here at Masterhand Games. For Chris Helodian in production and my co-commentator and tunist, I'm Stu the Announcer. Rage on, everyone. Until we meet again, happy smashing.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. We love you so much.